used for the health needs of a parent, spouse, child, or legal dependent. Full-time employees accrue sick leave at 6 hours and 40 minutes monthly. Sick leave, like annual leave, is capped at the end of the fiscal year at 360 hours. Any sick leave that is capped is converted to annual leave at a 5-to-1 ratio. Bereavement leave provides up to 40 hours of paid leave to permanent employees at the time of death of a family member or other person. The appointing authority authenticates the relationship and grants requested leave as appropriate. Holiday leave provides permanent full-time employees on the payroll when the holiday is observed 8 hours of paid holiday leave to observe each legal holiday. Holiday leave accruals are prorated for part-time employees and employees who did not work a full month. All holidays must be. Okay, so very quickly, I am just going to show you the Kronos Timekeeper system, which is the system that most CDPS employees will be using to track their time and leave. So a few things I want to say about this system before I get into it. You will be logging in with your 997 number, otherwise known as your employee ID number. If you don't know what that number is, ask your supervisor, or you can call HR and we'll be able to give you that 997 number. It's a pre-populated, it's a system-generated number that is done in our HRIS system. So definitely give us a call if you don't know what that is. And your default password is going to be welcome1 with an exclamation point. So that's capital WELCOME, the number 1 and an exclamation point. When you first log in, the system is going to prompt you to update your password and also to complete some security questions. Please make sure that you complete your security questions, because if you don't, then you won't be able to use the forgot your password link on the login screen in case you forget your password. So make sure you get that done when you first log in. So when you do first log in, this is pretty similar to what you're going to see. You see I have the My Time Card window here. I also have the My Calendar down here. And I also have the My Timestamp window right here, but some employees will not have that. I'll get into that a little bit later as to who has it and why. But first, I want to maximize my time card so that you can kind of see it a little bit better. So as you can see, I have a pre-populated schedule in this schedule column. Now, if you're a non-exempt employee, you'll have a pre-populated schedule, but you will be clocking in and out in order to track your time. And when you clock in and out, the times will be populated in the in and out columns. Now, if you're a trooper, a CBI agent, or a temporary employee, you will not have a pre-populated schedule. This column will be blank. So if it is blank, don't be alarmed. It's supposed to be that way if you're a trooper, CBI agent, or a temporary employee. You will be tracking your time manually. You'll just be entering your time here in the in and out columns because you guys tend to have schedules that are a little bit more erratic. So you will just go directly into your time card and you will just type in your in and out times. Okay. Now, if you're an exempt employee, not only will you have a pre-populated schedule, but you'll also have a pre-populated in and out time in these columns. All three of these columns will be pre-populated. So if you're exempt, really the only thing that you need to worry about is entering your leave in a timely manner. Okay. So that's kind of it for the time card. The other thing you want to do is make sure that you approve your time card on a regular basis. We recommend on a weekly basis, but definitely you'll need to do it on a monthly basis. And how you do that is you come over to approve time card, and then you can just click on approve time card. If you want to remove the approval, you just come back and remove a time card approval, and then it'll take it back off. Okay. You can also look at any specific period that you want. If you click on this drop down, it'll show you all kinds of time frames that you can choose from, or you can just click on this calendar and enter start date and end date, and it'll pull that up for you. Okay. So that's the time card. Now, the My Timestamp, I mentioned it earlier. This is for those non-exempt employees who have a pre-populated schedule but do not have pre-populated in and out time. So basically what you're going to do is at the beginning of your shift, you're going to clock in, or you're going to log into the system, and then you will click on record timestamp, and it'll record the time that you came in. And then before you leave at the end of your shift, you'll log in and click on the button again, the record timestamp button, and it'll record the time that you left. Now, you won't be able to adjust or go back and fix any previous timestamps. So if you forget to clock in when you start your shift, let your supervisor know and they'll be able to correct that for you. Again, this is just for those non-exempt employees who are not troopers, CBI agents, or temporary employees. Okay. So that's the My Timestamp. And then down here in the My Calendar, so I'm just going to click on this gear and I'm going to pop it out so we can see it, and then I'll maximize it so you can see it a little bit better. So this is the My Calendar. Now, if you want to request time off, this is where you come to do that. You just click on the Request Time Off button. And what the other thing that I really, really love about the My Calendar is that you can see your leave balances over here. Okay. And you can actually project these out as well. So if I want to take some time off in around July 4th, if you notice, my annual leave changed, and so did my sick leave. So it'll project out the leave that you have available on whatever date you input on the accruals on box. Now, if I want to take some leave, what I can do is I can enter a start date and an end date. So we'll just say May 23rd. And then I'm going to come down here and I am going to select whatever type of leave that I want to use. I will just use annual leave. Okay. Now, if I am one of those employees that has a pre-populated schedule and I want to use a full day, then I will just use full day. Now, if I'm a trooper, CBI agent, trooper or CBI agent, I'll have to add the hours manually because the system doesn't know what your schedule is. Also, if you only want to use a partial day, you will use hours as well. So let's say I want to start from 8 a.m. and I want to use 4 hours. Okay, and that's how I would enter it. And then I would submit it. And once I click submit, my supervisor would get an email saying that I submitted a time off request, and then they would be prompted to go in there and approve it. And then once the time off request is approved, it'll show up on my time card, and I'll also get an email letting me know that it was approved as well. Okay, so that's how you would request your time off. And I'm just going to go back to my time card. And that's basic navigation for the My Timekeeper or the Timekeeper system. You also have some options over here as well. You can go into My Reports and My Audits. These just show you different reports and different information that show you if someone has changed something in your time card or made updates or anything to your time card. You can also change your password early if you want to by going to change my password. You can also change your security questions by going to change my password as well. Okay, so that's pretty much it for the Timekeeper system. If you have any questions about this, definitely contact HR and we'll be able to help you through this. There are also some job aids available on the HR intranet site that you might find helpful as well. Okay, so I'm just going to show you the Telestaff system really quickly. I'm just going to give a short demonstration. So this system is used by CBI InstaCheck and identification units only. So if you are in either one of those units, you will be using Telestaff to track your time and your leave. Now, on the login screen, your user ID will be your 997 number, otherwise known as your EID number. If you don't know what that is, ask your supervisor or call HR, and we'll be able to pull that information for you. Your default password is going to be 1234. That is going to be your default password. And when you log in for the first time, it will prompt you to pick another password. So be sure to do that when you first log in. If you ever need a password reset, your supervisor or HR can reset that password for you. And again, it's just going to default back to 1234. So anytime you've had your password reset, just 1234, it'll prompt you to do a new password, and then you'll be able to get in. Now, when you first log in, this is similar to what you will see. Okay. So just a few things I want to show you in the system. The first is the My Info. So if you go here, you will find your information, your name, your 997 number, all of that information. You can change your password here if you want to before you're prompted to. And you'll also be able to see your profile, which will have your job title and that information. And lastly, you'll also be able to see your assignments. So this is the shift that you will be assigned, and that's where you can see it here. You won't be able to update any of this information. So if any of this information is incorrect, tell your supervisor or tell HR, and we'll be able to update that information for you. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to go to is calendar. So if you notice, I have these little yellow boxes on my calendar. This is annotating my schedule. So I am supposed to work Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Okay. And then I have off on Saturdays and Sundays. So these colored boxes are annotating what my scheduled time is. Now, when I actually start to work, there will be little white boxes that will show up under the yellow boxes, and it'll show when I actually worked. Okay. So let's say, for example, on this day, I actually worked. You guys won't have all of these codes available. I just have them because I'm the administrator. But let's say on this day, I actually ended up working say from 9 a.m. to, let's say, 5 p.m. And this system is going to be using military time. So I'm going to put in 1700 as soon as it's done loading. So as you can now see, the times I actually worked this day have changed. Okay. So, and these little white boxes will be pre-populated for you, for your supervisor. I just put one in for demonstration purposes, but if you see these, I just wanted you to know what they looked like and what they were. Now, let's say, for example, I want to submit a time off request. What I would do is I would click on the day, and then I would click add, and then I would select the type of leave. So let's just say I wanted to use annual leave. Okay. And it has pre-populated my schedule for me. So if this looks okay, then I don't have to change anything. But if I wanted to do a partial day, I would just change the in and out times, again, using military time. And then I would check the box and I would click save. Okay, so if you notice, leave boxes, they are red. So if you see one of those, it means you've submitted a time off request or a leave request for annual leave, sick leave, or whatever you submitted, and then your supervisor would have to approve it. Now, because I'm an administrator, I put in this annual leave and it doesn't have an asterisk, but you will see an asterisk, and that means that it hasn't been approved yet. Once that asterisk goes away, it means that your supervisor has approved the leave. So that's how you submit a leave request in the Telestaff system. Now, how do you find your leave balances? So This system is not capable of showing you your leave balances. So what happens is a report is generated on a monthly basis, which deducts the leave that you took and adds the leave that you accrued. So those reports are sent out to you guys on a monthly basis by the 10th of the following month or the following working day if the 10th falls on a weekend or holiday. So that's how you see your balances for the month. And of course, you can always come in here and look at your calendar and see what leave you've entered and what's been approved and what hasn't. Over here, you can also pull a few different reports. I'm not going to go into all the different reports that you can pull, but there are some available reports in here if you want to see, for example, the leave that you've used in a different way. You can come in here, or how many hours you've worked in a month. You can come in here and pull different reports. But I will let you guys take a look at that and kind of play around with all the reports you can pull just so you know what's in there. But that is basically it with the Telestaff system. So if you have any questions, ask your supervisor or call HR and we'll be able to assist you.